Question 42. With reference to the ancient India, consider the following statements. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. The stupa was generally a repository of relics. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. How many of the statements given above are correct? Again, this is coming from culture. It's a static part where you should have read all about stupas and all. But I'm linking another source, Hindu source, to this. Let me just show you the source. I'll explain. So if you see, sorry, this of a bygone era, excavations reveal Buddhist monastery complex at Bharatpur of Bengal. There is an article like this under history and culture. So every article that is coming under history and culture section of Hindu is very important. You should read through it, and there is a high chance that questions from that articles can appear in prelims. So if you see it, this article was published on January 21, 2023. It is during our preparation phase. So here, if you see, it is discussing about the stupa. I'm not going through the entire article. You can obviously read it. But it says a Buddhist stupa is a commemorative monument usually housing sacred relics associated with Buddha or other saints or priests, whereas votive stupas have similar significance but are smaller structures originating in 8 cylindrical structures. From this paragraph, you can answer two of the statements given. Let me just show you. So here it says stupa generally is a repository of relics, that is mentioned. Stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition, that is also mentioned. So again, then the concept of stupa is a Buddhist in origin. That is the tricky statement here. So usually we associate stupa with Buddhist tradition. So but here if you see, when archaeologists excavated the site in 1970s, they found black and red ware pottery associated with Chalcolithic age, which predates any Buddhist structures. Excavation is likely to shed more light to. There are some transition happening here, so that is being discussed. But if you go to the stupa, the wiki page, you like whenever you see something like, you should check out these wiki pages. Here you get interesting new informations. Great Stupa of Sanchi. The image is shown there. That is an important architecture we should be aware of. So again, many important points are given, but if you see description and in history, stupas may have originated as a pre-Buddhist tumuli in which Sramanas were buried in a seated position called Chaitya. So there is some mention saying stupas may have originated as a pre-Buddhist tumuli. So that is an important point here. So here in our question, sorry, I didn't show you this link. Sorry, that was not enabled. So I was going through the wiki page of stupa. There are many good information here. You should read through it, through such things and note any important points. And in the history, as you can see, stupas may have originated as a pre-Buddhist tumuli in which Sramanas were buried in seated position. So this is what I was saying before. So there is a mention of this, that a possibility, it is mentioning a possibility that stupas could be a pre-Buddhist structure. Origin could be a pre-Buddhist thing. So if you see, if I come back to the question, it's saying the concept of stupa is a Buddhist in origin. So it is making a definitive statement. So that is wrong. So all other two statements are right. So this is this answers this question. So again, my main point was, these articles gives a clarity on a lot of points, especially when it comes to 2 and 3. It was clearly mentioned in this Hindu article, and 1 was a tricky thing. Whenever you read things or do a little bit analysis, like further research, do some research. You don't have to like go through all the pages. Just a wiki page and a wiki page read would be sufficient. You don't have to just go through different websites and just go through it. But there are some websites that are important that you should take note of. When it comes to culture, CCRT website is important. When it comes to environment, even down to earth page is important. And some government pages like wildlife related pages are important. Like, I will explain which all are important sites as we discuss each questions. Like, when I remember, I will just discuss. So there are certain websites that are important, like for government schemes and all. PAB website is important, as I discussed earlier. For mains, some new, even All India Radio podcast is good to refer. Sometimes we hear you should refer yearbook. So there are a lot of sources that are thrown at aspirants, like you should read all the books. So I know that the time is a constraint, like we can't go through all the book, and more than that, we even if we go through such sources, it is very difficult to memorize and remember everything. So you have to limit the sources as much as possible and do little research only, like with other sources, reference sources. You spend little time only. Don't waste your time. Don't make your notes into a huge book that you will not able to revise and recollect. So that is my take on such things. So yeah, that is question 42. We'll move on to the next question.